Welcome back to the Rom-Com Love Podcast. We are so thrilled to have with us today Veronica Long. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys. Thank you. And thank you for letting me do my fake nails on your podcast.
Course, always. There's always time for
Always.
nails.
There is. And it's very meditative too. So this really does feel like a girl's night in.
Well, let's talk about you have some projects in the works that are airing now. We have Blue Skies, which can be found on the Up Faith and Family app. For people who are just discovering the show, can you give us a little bit about the series and then about your character, Nora?
Yeah, so Blue Skies is it's a police procedural, and it's about criminal investigators that work in this beautiful national park, and they solve crimes. As we were saying before, what did we say? And there's a crime to be solved.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot already.
I know. No, I had to. Oh no, it was, and there's a mystery to be solved.
That too. Yes, it works.
Um, but there is, and we have our kind of secret weapon is a dog, and he's a big part of the show. His name is Blue, hence Blue Skies, and he's one of the criminal investigators.
Oh, amazing. We were just talking before you came on, Veronica, that we just think it's so cool that this takes place in a park, just in the
Mhm.
outdoors. And me personally, I'm such an outdoors girl. I love hiking, I love fishing, lakes, anything. Put me in a park. So that's just so cool. Just the plot and theme and location.
Yeah, well, I've been telling people, it's almost like watching the Discovery Channel or watching Animal Planet or, a nature show because you're gonna get a lot of that watching the show. It's very green. It's very, very green.
Perfect. Love that.
It's
So
so good.
where was it filmed at? Was it in Canada?
Yeah, we filmed it in Canada. We filmed it in Squamish, which is about an hour and a half north of Vancouver, and we filmed it on a back lot in like, deep into the woods in Squamish. And like you're saying, Brennan, it was so beautiful every day. We would just driving to set was gorgeous. You have to drive up the Sea to Sky Highway, which is the closest thing I can equate it to is is it the 101 in California? It's the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Monterey and things. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, because on one side you have the ocean and the sea, and then on the other side you have the mountains, and it's gorgeous. And so just driving up that every day, it was like, man, I can't believe this is my drive to work. I love that I put work in quotations. It is a job. It is a job. It is working, but it is the best job in the world, as we all know. But no, that made it really extra special for sure.
Absolutely. And how was the weather filming? Like, did you film a certain time of the year?
Yeah, so okay, we filmed in the summer and then a little bit of the fall of last
Mm.
year. And crazily, so I don't know if we got good weather because the show is literally called Blue Skies, but crazily, because usually it rains a lot in Vancouver. They call it Raincouver for a reason. And crazily enough, I think that we only had 2 or 3 days out of almost 4 months of filming that it rained in. We shot part of it in Vancouver proper in a suburb called Langley, but the other half we filmed in Squamish. And in Squamish, we only had 2 days or 3 days of rain, so it was quite lovely the rest of the time.
That's incredible. Meant to be. The timing. Amazing.
I know. I don't, there's something about maybe the producers knew what they were doing when they called it Blue Skies. They were like, and this
Mhm.
is gonna be our good luck charm.
They're just manifesting, just blue, blue, stay blue.
With manifestation at its finest. 100.
Well, I mean, you have the beautiful scenery of Vancouver. You can't go wrong in the proper area. I've actually been to Langley, but I only went to the one called the Heart Set.
Oh,
I went to the Hardy's family reunion, but just that drive and the bus to get up there was gorgeous. Once, yes, like you said, once you leave the city, you're just surrounded by beauty everywhere, each side.
Yeah, I remember the very first time that I visited Vancouver, and it's in British Columbia, and they call it
Mhm.
beautiful British Columbia. That's what it says on the license plates. And the first time I was driving in with my friend I think we were coming from Alberta area, like Jasper National Park, and coming into BC, I was like, this is gorgeous. And he was like, yeah, they don't call it beautiful British Columbia for nothing. It's it's
So,
stunning.
well, I find that I love that you're saying that after coming out of Alberta, because Alberta is when, like my dream is to get out to the Fairmont, because you can't go wrong going in that area.
Oh my,
Lake Eloise, right?
yep, yes. And actually, we stayed there, and it was gorgeous. The Fairmonts know what they're doing. I'm all about work hard, play hard.
There you go.
You need both. You need both.
You do, you just do.
Well, Veronica, how would you say you are similar to your character, Nora? And has anything challenged you in this role? Was there anything that was just unexpected for you about playing the character of Nora?
Yeah, okay, so this is my third detective that I've played. So I had a little bit of experience, and
Okay. Great.
I was honestly pretty glad for it because I think when I did my first detective role, I felt a lot of imposter syndrome because it wasn't, it's such a specific job, and it's also it's a hard job. And and there's a lot of training involved, and I was like, look, I haven't, as Veronica, gone through any of the actual police training or any of the, I don't have any of these credentials. And
Mhm.
so really, I did have a lot of imposter syndrome on my first job playing a detective. And I'm almost glad that it happened, that I got those jobs, which were guest stars, um, and like supporting characters on Lifetime movies, that I had that experience before jumping over into a series regular where I'm playing a detective. Because the biggest thing that it taught me, and something that I actually shared with Scarlett, it was also her first time playing a detective on Blue
Mhm.
Skies, because she asked me, she was like, what, how, she was like, because I know you played a cop before, Veronica. She was like, how do you play a cop? And I said, I think the biggest thing is just to remember that you don't have to stand a certain way. Because I had it in my head, I have to talk down here, and I have to, not that exaggerated, but, I have to, stand, like in a military like position or something, and I have to move in a certain way. But I think it was through playing detectives and kind of realizing, oh, wait, I don't have to act any differently than I would in my normal life, with a few exceptions. Obviously, if, you're apprehending somebody, if you're cuffing somebody, you want to know, like, you look like what you're
Mhm.
doing. You want to know, like, you want to know, like, what you're doing. There we go. um, but there's no need to, because you watch cops in move and speak in real life, and they don't they don't have a certain posture for the most part, at least not the women that I've noticed. The guys, I think they do kind of take on that, and I think it's
Mhm.
almost like a matter of, I don't know, this is my hot take, but I think that a part of, being a cop maybe for, I think actually for women and men is like, you actually want to kind of embody in real life, you want to kind of embody like the pride of it, and how, you are here to serve society and take down criminals, and a part of, and that actually does make you stand a little taller. So I think that was my takeaway, was from having done roles before, is don't be stiff. You're still
Mhm.
allowed to move, but you would have, just a sense of, pride in your job, but that doesn't also mean that you can't, when you're at your desk, you know, sometimes relax.
Mhm.
Especially if, the moment calls for it. So that was a really long-winded answer, but
No, not at all.
but
No.
But I was gonna say also, because it was a two-parter question, and then how am I similar to Nora?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love this question because I immediately from reading the script, I was like, this just feels like somebody that this feels like the type of detective that I would be if I chose to go into that profession.
Mm.
In the sense that she's um playful, but she also takes her job really seriously and she's not going to mess around in that sense. But I really, really, when I read her on the page, she just seemed like somebody that was kind, empathetic, warm, and really loved her job and was yeah, was very serious about her job, but also not so serious in, moments with her coworkers, which I think brings a lot of charm to the show. In all the characters, the sense of like playfulness between the characters. Like there's a moment where I have a lot of eye rolling moments towards Alexander Meeks, who plays my detective partner on the show, um, because he's always kind of saying, things like, hey, like you need to get properly dressed before, we go out and we take down the bad guys. If somebody's not properly dressed or if they just woke up and there's already a crime to be solved.
Mhm.
Um, and, and I just like I'll roll my eyes like, okay, we know we're gonna get changed. But no, but I really love this character. I feel very I really do. I feel very connected to her and her sense of also social justice. I feel very connected to her in that sense too.
Oh, that's amazing. And I apologize, Veronica, because I have not seen any episodes yet. Although the more we talk about it, I get more excited to see it. Are you are you able to share what kinds of mystery crimes Nora is solving?
Yeah,
Is it murder? Is it like other violation? Like what kind of mystery murder? Or sorry, I don't know why I keep saying that. Probably because I'm already thinking of Nelly. But
oh yes.
what kind of crime mysteries does Nora solve?
Yeah, it is murder.
Okay,
It is murder. And
okay.
we
See,
do we
even more excited, even more excited.
That's it. That's exactly it. And oh man, and that just reminds me that I mean, some of them are murder, some of them are like, fighting, other kind of injustices, like an injustice towards like the nature in the park, or an injustice towards any animals in the park that are not treated the way they should be treated. But the murder just reminds me that they're in those episodes, we get those lines that are this has been ruled as murder, or this has been ruled as homicide, or whatever it is. And it's so hard to deliver those with a straight face because it's just such a line.
Mhm.
And so sometimes those are a little tricky for an actor. But on the whole, we have really great writers. And I mean, not to say, I mean, look, there's a way to deliver any cheesy line in a great way. I mean, honestly, watch any film. There's gonna
Yeah.
be cheesy lines in there, but the difference is that, these great actors can make cheesy lines not cheesy.
True. So true.
One 1000%. And I was going to say back to when you were talking about stepping into their shoes. So and who they are off, off site is different than who they are. Because my brother-in-law is a canine.
Mhm.
And my sister is a deputy sheriff. Or no, I'm sorry, he's a deputy sheriff. My sister's a correctional officer.
Okay,
And hey, and here she is. Come on in.
come
You
on
can come say
in.
hi. This is Eliza.
Hi, Eliza. I'm Veronica. Nice to meet you.
These are my friends I'm talking to. I'll come out and see you in a little bit, okay? Okay. Mwah. See you in a little
Hi.
bit. You want to close the door, sweetie?
So
So, told you she was excited
beautiful.
to see you, Auntie.
Oh, she's so excited to see Auntie, and I can see why. Oh, Catherine, you're so
Loves
sweet.
Catherine so much. It's
Oh,
adorable.
I am second
Oh,
mama. And so, and I thank my sister that she shares them with me. And so I'm very grateful. But yeah, so I look at her and her roles because I know, I know obviously I grew up with her. We shared a room and everything. And I was like, how are you a correctional officer? Just because that just blows my mind for, and it was just that little niche in her that I didn't know existed as her sister that she
Oh.
shows once she shows. And once I watch her with her, co-workers, I get it. And then her husband, so they both met when they were correctional officers. And her husband is now a canine deputy sheriff. And he doesn't say a word 99% of the time. And I finally asked my sister one day, I said, I go, how is he arresting people? I'm a little confused.
Where does the voice come from?
Yeah. She goes, once, we are not who we are at work. And that was one of the things that kind of just reminded me that, it is, everybody kind of steps into a different role in some aspect. So I
So
just wanted to encourage you that way.
no, I love that. Actually, that I love that you brought that up because yeah, we are a little bit different at work. I was just shooting with a photographer recently and I was like, what are you doing after this? And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm going home and crashing, girl." And she was like, "I can't talk to anybody." And I was like, "What do you mean? You're so social." And she said, "Girl, this is my work personality."
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, I mean, I definitely have a work personality, in the same way that we all step into the role, in the same way that, yeah, you step into an act.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
So, well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that I like that idea of, if actors have a little bit of reticence to play a role because they feel like they have imposter syndrome, that's a good thing to remind themselves of is, well, people that play these, sorry, not play, but people that are detectives, people that are lawyers, people that, are in the military that have these jobs that feel so different from our own lives, we do have to remember that they also are playing a role when they go to work as well. So, they might have a little imposter syndrome too. And that's actually kind of it's good psychologically to remember that that's actually kind of part of it. And so it's okay for the actor to kind of feel like an imposter as well. At least if they're starting, if it's like a novice, police officer, or if they're playing a novice, someone in the military. But
Yeah.
but there's an element of that for sure.
No, I learn something new every day. And I actually find that this is like, actually, I hate it's a weird way to say it, but podcasting is therapeutic for me because I feel like, as you learn about other people too, it also helps you learn about different things about yourself. And so, um, but one of the questions I was curious about was as you played a detective a few different times, has there been an inspiration for you as a detective that you went, like we've got Jessica Fletcher with Back with Murder, She Wrote, and things like that. And then of course, every other detective show. That's the one that always has a place in my heart because I watched that with my grandma. But
Oh,
did anybody inspire you when you were getting into this?
very much so. My biggest inspiration, have you seen Dexter?
Oh, I have seen little clips. I've never seen a whole one,
Same.
but
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a good show. Highly recommend. And there's a detective on that show. Her name is, I don't know the actress's name, but her name on the show is Deborah, and she plays Dexter's sister. And there is something about the way that she plays this character that feels very relatable. It actually goes back to exactly what we're talking about right now with she doesn't feel like a cop in the normal sense. She doesn't feel like a detective in the normal sense. The way she embodies this character, first of all, she's very, what's the word, emotional and very attached to any of the murders that she's solving. And I liked that. I like that she gets really emotional about them. You always kind of think of a cop as having to keep some distance, maybe being a
mm-hmm.
bit more stoic, but I love that she gets so invested. And I was talking with my acting coach about playing a detective, and she said, the cops, the lawyers, all these people that work in social justice, the thing that we actually love the most about watching them is that they take the cases personally and they make it personal to themselves. And we love that because in the same sense that, when something bad is happening in your life, you're being mistreated, you want someone to stick up for you in the way that you want to stick up for you, but
Mhm.
can't. And
Mhm.
so just hearing my acting coach say that really flipped the script for me and made me think, okay, that's totally in line A with where I saw Deb going in Dexter, and B, it just feels more me as well because I'm an empath and and I care deeply. So that all kind of just fell into alignment with how I wanted to play the character. And I was happy to hear that early on in playing the role, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I think as viewers, we can pick up on, when the actors are being genuine. Like they're not just saying lines, but we can tell based on their expression or how the emotion in their voice when they're speaking, we can see, especially Catherine and I, because we look for every little detail, but we can totally tell, like, oh, this actor really connected to this story. it just
Mm.
it just flies off the screen. So that's so amazing, like that you were able to find that within yourself and this character. And yeah, we just think that's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that you connect with characters like that too, because I certainly do. So yeah,
Mhm.
it feels very much in alignment with the what I wanted to bring to the role. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, as you said, with like social justice or anything, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. You just want to be seen. That there's a Bridgerton line. Doesn't matter what your role is in life. Everybody wants to be seen. And I think that it was the first time for me ever that I saw myself in a character that I had given up on the show. And I was like, oh, this isn't a fit for me. And then because it was giving me a different anxiety or it just was not hitting that tone, it was one scene, and I've told this actor repeatedly, I said, I go, you have no idea how your
Oh,
performance just made me like stop and be like, oh my gosh. And from that, then it just gave this connection that I was never anticipating. And so it's, like we had this conversation the other day where somebody's like, well, we're not saving babies. We're not in the medical profession. I'm just an actor. And I said, I go, you're still doing a service that I don't even think you realize you're doing when you're doing it.
Mhm.
that's such a beautiful way to put it. And yeah, I agree. It's not brain surgery for sure, but you're saving. I sorry, I can't help but like laugh, but it's not. It's true and it's serious. Like you're saving lives
Oh,
in a sense.
you are. I mean, because like once, because I think if there's something that one person sees something in a different way based on your performance, that like if that person would have been on the brink of whatever it would be because of that, and then they see it
Yeah.
because of how much love and care you put in for, like you said, it could be the cheesiest thing, but it's how you deliver it because when they're writing it, they don't know how you as an actor are going to deliver anything or what the director's going to ask you to do.
Yeah.
So it all marries together in ways that I think it's just the more I really have, I used to be one of those people just had it on in the background. And then it was like, I really just started, I was like, oh my gosh, huh, look at all these things I've learned from TV.
Yeah. No, I mean that really happens though. I you know, that is the best part of television and film is when
Mm-hmm.
we feel seen by watching somebody else's performance.
Mhm.
100%. And I
Mhm.
can't help but so I have another acting teacher who says actually same acting teacher. I have a lot I've had so many acting coaches in my life, but but she says, what's kind of beautiful about acting is that we have our own pain and we see the character's pain and then it relates to the audience's pain and it's kind of all working together. Like Veronica is using her pain to bring the characters make the character's pain real in a way that's going to touch somebody else's pain and lessen it. And
Mhm.
think that that is just so, so, so beautiful. And even in, even in the art of acting, um, I feel healed as well in a lot of ways, just by, you know, what I mean, this is kind of one of the beautiful things about acting, for anybody that wants to be an actor out there, is like you're kind of you are actually are healing little parts of you, or you get to, if you for example, sometimes we're afraid to stand up to people in our real life, and you go over that conversation in the mirror and like what you should have said to them a million times. And what's cool about acting is that usually in scenes you're standing up for yourself, or you're standing up for somebody else. I mean, that's like 80% of scenes. You're just trying to get what you want. You're standing up for yourself. And so in standing up for yourself through acting, you're getting to heal that part of you that didn't get to stand up for yourself in other respects in your life. And it's healing. It's beautiful.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And Catherine, I know for me personally, for pretty much since I was a teenager, like TV and movies has really been like therapy for me because, and even this week I had a bad day at work and I came home and I was like, I just need to watch Hallmark. Like
Yeah.
so many of my favorite shows and movies I've discovered just because I had a bad day, I had a stressful day, and I just needed something to distract me. And it's now like they're movies and shows that I treasure. So, and that's just become a habit of mine. Like, oh, yeah, this because it does it's life changing, when you find something positive that you can just turn on and just kind of forget about your day and your problems for a couple hours. It really means the world. It's life-saving for sure.
It is so life-saving. Like I remember when I was I mean, I wasn't even really going through anything at the time, but but I was watching a lot of The Office. And
Mm.
and
Mhm.
it was the very first series that I watched every single season in sequence. And it's my favorite show, but it really did bring me to life.
Mm.
And yeah, it really, I don't know, it just made me happy. It made
Yes.
me happy.
Mhm.
But but to your point too, something else you were saying that made me think of this, is that I had and I have one of my best friends from elementary school. I've actually known her since we were in fifth grade. We met at the back of the line in when we were going to, how you go to the cafeteria together as kindergarten, or not kindergarten, but like, yeah,
Alphabetized.
yeah, exactly, alphabetized or whatever. We met at the back of the line. We were always the last, the last two, and we met at the back, and then we'd eat ice cream cones every day at lunch. It was very fun. But anyway, we're still bestest of friends, and she's such a good friend. She's such a good friend, and has so much wisdom, and uh, and her favorite show growing up, like every time I would come over to her house, it was either Gossip Girl, or it was, which is so good, or Friends, the TV.
Yes.
Oh, and and then one day it dawned on me. I was like, she's a great friend because this sounds kind of silly to say out loud, but because she watches a show about friends and friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way that a lot of that hasn't seeped in, and the wisdom from all of that, and the way that they care for each other, take care of each other, the way they use humor to lighten the mood with each other. There's no way she's imparting all of what she's learned onto me, and she's a great friend because of it.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh, you're so right. Because then I'll be there for you. Or if you think of Golden Girls, thank you for being a friend. I mean, and that's exactly what that story is about. Being a
Yeah,
friend. I love it.
yeah. I just saw a post that I sent to my brother just because I thought it was funny. But it was I guess somebody had tweeted, um, seeking five roommates to live Golden Girls style. Nobody has nobody has a partner. We all just have flings, and we have heart to heart catch ups every day at 1 a.m. And that's our life. serious inquiries only.
I
I
mean,
I just love that. It's true. How, like, did you guys think when you know, watched shows like that growing up that maybe you were also going to have friendships that, you know, like that in your 20s or 30s, that you have, you know, your best friend lives across the hall with their best friend and you live with your best friend and it's like you're always going into each other's apartments and
mhm.
shenanigans happen?
I always thought that would be so fun. In my apartment building for sure, I have nice neighbors, but it's definitely not like friends. And I so wish it was. Like, what if I just were to like hang out next door all the time? Like,
I know. That's oh, I crave it so much to have that kind of. I feel like our lives are almost too busy now to have that kind of you know, have that kind of environment. But maybe now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm like, man, maybe I need to make better friends with my neighbors.
Well, for me, I didn't do a 4-year university. It just was not, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. It was just like and it was kind of like number one, I was actually kind of tired of school. It wasn't my favorite. So then when I was just like, you know what, I took a year off. I became a preschool teacher and I was like, because I knew I always loved children. So I was like, well, let's see if this is something that I'd want to go in for teaching. And then I just kind of got into that and then I kind of switched over and went to another tech school to do like executive assistant work. And so that I kind of had a little bit of balance of, I could do office work in a daycare if need be or whatever kind of a thing, or maybe someday I would sit and be an executive assistant. And so then, but then I look at my sister and my brother from their best friends that they have from college, that they kind of have that friends with, of course, even though they're so far apart, they still make sure that they have time for each other. And I was like, dang, I missed out on something. So, but we all go with our own path.
No, exactly, exactly. And honestly, you know, you can find friends anywhere. And you're so
Yeah.
sweet, Catherine.
I
I'm sure
I
you.
lucked out with Brennan.
I
Oh,
lucked out with her.
oh,
So
I love
we
that
get
so
together. We're 20 minutes away from each other, and we met because we both watch When Calls the Heart.
much.
And so,
Really?
and during a storyline in season 8, we needed some therapy together.
We
Oh,
did.
you're like, something is happening. I need to get through this with
You know,
somebody.
there is something I'm not making light of this at all, but it's like, you know what? It was just kind of that like trauma bonding,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
now
It,
we're past that. We're past that story, but our
yeah.
friendship has just grown stronger.
So
So,
yeah, no, and I tell her I got a little sister from it, and to the fact that I mean, I am the oldest, so it is my younger sister that's here right now, and my mom will be like, she asked me on Sunday, I didn't tell her, but she's like, when is my other daughter coming? And I was like, because we've had snow, so Brennan hasn't been able to make it due to snow and different things. And so that I didn't tell her just in case it fell through. Finally, 5 minutes before she was coming, she goes, she'll be walking through the door soon. And I was like, what am I, chopped liver? She's like, her other daughter's here, it's all's well.
You're like, I'm here too.
Exactly. But then she immediately knows to go down to because I live with my mom. She immediately knows to go down to the end of the halls because we're going to giggle and laugh and have words at the TV. And so then she goes, I wonder what the heck you guys were screaming at during some of these in a good way.
I love that so much. Hey, listen, you don't need, you know, so many friends. You just need a
No, you
few
need real ones.
real
yep,
ones. You
Yep,
just
yep.
need a
real.
few real ones.
Yep,
Mm.
true and strong. So yeah. Well, I
Uh,
suppose we should really get back to your shows.
no,
But
no, honestly, I'm having so much fun. I love talking about friendship. I love talking about friendship.
Oh, girl, same.
well, maybe that'll
Oh,
be the next movie down the line. Well,
yeah.
actually, we can skip because you, in Nelly Knows, it is friendship that you have with Pascal's character with Nelly, and Fiona is honestly the biggest cheerleader for Nelly and Michael, and so fingers are crossed that we're gonna get more of them. But what's been your favorite, most memorable time on set with these two? Because they're so fun.
They're so fun. They're so fun. Like they're just so humble and they're so sweet. And I remember even on the first movie, I got to set and I love our little set where we film. It's this little I don't know what it is in real life because when I get there, the set is already decorated and made up to look like the office. But first of all, it's kind of helping me fulfill a tiny little dream because the set that we work on is a magazine and um they're like I it fulfills a little fantasy for me because I've always wanted to be a magazine editor. Like have you guys seen what's the name of the movie with Kate Hudson and Mike Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, 10 How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, of course.
How
Yes,
many guys it is? Oh, oh,
yes,
oh! A round
so
of applause.
good.
It's so good. Can we just light a candle really quickly and say a prayer for
And
thank
we please.
Please,
Yes.
it's so good. But she's a magazine, or she's a writer in that.
Mhm.
And Fiona is as well. But anyway, playing Fiona definitely helps me, have a fantasy about, live out the fantasy of living that lifestyle. Like you go to work every day with a little coffee and you have nice clothes and and you just sit down and you write and you talk to your best friend and you banter about your day. Yeah, no, that's such a fantasy.
So, what is Fiona's actual column? Does she? Because I'm thinking she's made tarts, or did she make? I think she made like souffles. I just rewatched the first one. So she made souffles, and then she was also doing gardening, and
Yeah,
so I think she's all over the map with her story.
she's kind of all over the map. She has anything and everything that interests her. She's like, I'm gonna dive into it. Like I'm
Perfect.
gonna I'm gonna grow these sunflowers and see which soil is the best. She's like, for all the gardeners out there, just
I
say,
got you.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
That is so like Andy and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. She's
Hmm.
the how-to girl. She
Hmm.
learns how to do things and then tells readers, this is how you do it.
That's right. Wait, hold on. Wait, I feel so excited that we just made that connection. I feel
And if there's not a column, you can just say it. Fiona finds. Fiona finds out,
Yes.
Ooh, I
or
love
Fiona.
that. That's what
Yeah.
I'm pitching. I'm gonna pitch that to the writers for the next movie. Hopefully there's one. Hopefully.
But yeah, I mean, because that would cover all bases, and she's doing all these different testings, and it's the mystery aspect. So they're
Mhm.
good.
Exactly. There's a little mystery. Okay, actually, what I want to pitch to them is because I want to work with Pascal and Cavan more. What I want to
Mhm.
pitch to them is that Fiona gets involved in solving some of the crimes as well. That would be
I completely agree because I thought about it. I was like, we're missing an opportunity because, Pascal, because Nelly needs something to bounce off of, somebody who's not going to be like, can we tone it down a little bit? Versus Fiona would be like, let's raise it up.
yeah, totally. Let's go for it. Yeah, totally. And then her and I can have like a little secret, like, what are we discovering over here? And I can get out my magnifying glass and that could be
Let
really
us know
funny.
who to write. Let us know who to write to, and we'll back you up on that. You got
Yes.
to.
Mhm.
Okay, will do. I'm gonna look up the ride. I'm gonna look up, yeah, who these writers are and be like, hmm. Um,
Oh,
yeah, no, but working with Pascal and Kevin is so fun. They're just so nice. And it's so easy to get right, good and deep with Pascal because I don't know, she just has a really deep soul and she's so welcoming and so inviting and no, she's so sweet. And then Kevin has just such a fun and funny personality. Like he's funny. They're both really funny. As you know, yeah,
mhm.
he's just fun to be around. And so is Pascal. They're just great. We like the very first time I got to set on the first movie, they were we all had like the green room that day was this like tiny, it almost was like a closet. It wasn't a closet, but it kind of felt like a closet. And it was just really fun. It felt like really close quarters and I got to just hang out with them the whole day and get to know them really well. And yeah, you just feel like by the end of the day, because a lot of my scenes are actually shot in one day because it's basically it all takes place in the office. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So no, they're so great. I love them. I can't wait to work with them again on a third movie, hopefully.
It
Fingers
deserves it. And it's got, I mean, and it already had the fan base immediately hooked because of, the Hardy's universe. And what is this, like their seventh or eighth project, I think, that they've done together, which just shows that there's a magic that we can't. I mean, we went to KC this year, so we got to we've seen them the last 2 years in KC together.
Oh,
And this time we saw a side of Cabin, like he really like there was a dating game, and he was the person who was chasing lizard, what was it, lizard people, like he was wearing a tinfoil hat basically.
Lizard people. Yes.
and wait, he was like going after conspiracy theorists type of thing?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
he well
Mhm.
he so how it was lined up, I'll send it to you because it's
Please.
hysterical. But it is literally was it Kevin, it was Ben, and did they have Viv with them? I can't remember who the third one that they had with
Oh,
them.
I think it was that, or was it Chris or Kevin?
Oh, it was Chris. They had Chris
Okay.
McNally, so it was Ben, Chris, and Kevin, and they are all going for Aaron Krako's heart, as but supposedly not knowing, knowing who she was on the other side and stuff like that. And so then for him, he decided to take on the conspiracy theory thing, and boy, did he play into it. The fact that he was like the lizard people are going to come get us, and the whole, I mean, like, he has it, but that's not what you get to see from Lee, of course. And it's just so, it was, I mean, like, it was the talk of the weekend was the lizard people.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, that's so great. Yeah, yeah. All the conspiracy theorists out there. Oh my gosh. I'm so intrigued by conspiracy theorists. I let them go on. I'm not gonna lie. Like if I find one, I'm like, keep talking. Like I just want to know your
Mhm.
theories. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I think we all like to learn from others. I mean, as long as you have an open mind to it for anything. I mean, doesn't mean you're going to believe what they believe, but it's interesting to always understand where somebody else is coming from. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Yeah, exactly. And who knows, maybe I actually just saw another post. I need to get off Instagram, but
No.
girl, same.
right? I'm just doom scrolling, like, oh, but I
That's
just
me daily.
yes, I just find things that I want to send to my brother or send to my best friends. I'm like, it's just good. It's good. It's just fun to send stuff. But I saw something today that was like, it was really trying to back conspiracy theorists up. It was like maybe conspiracy theorists are actually, like they're the people who recognize patterns. What if we reframe them as, the people who are, seeing what we're not seeing, and they're the pattern reframers, and and I was like, oh, actually, we maybe we need to give conspiracy theorists more credit.
Actually, yeah, I was going to say they're not wrong in that because any ones that I've seen, there's always a pattern. How else is there a conspiracy?
Right.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. They always notice, yeah, a little pattern or yeah, something is afoot and they're picking up on it.
So when you retire from acting, you're going to be a conspiracy theorist.
Basically, basically,
That's the
yeah.
next role. Yeah.
Perfect.
I
We
mean,
can't wait to hear what yours is.
oh yeah. I can just tell you guys already. I 100% think there's aliens. 100%. Actually, wait, maybe we shouldn't get into it because, but that's all I'll keep it at. That's all I'll keep it at. There's just too
Fair
many
enough.
Netflix documentaries that are so convincing.
Mm, fair enough.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
we have all these other planets. Yeah, right.
That's
Yes.
exactly, exactly. And somebody just confirmed, I think Obama just confirmed it in a video and there's, I looked to the evidence. I looked to the evidence and
Oh my
there's
gosh, I am so sending you the lizard video, and then next time you
Oh,
see Kevin, you guys can play it up together.
Monica,
I'll be like, it's me. It's me. It's me.
you are going to love it, and it's so amazing that you've gotten to work with him. But I really think like last year he was great his first year, but
Mhm.
this year I agree. I feel like we really got to see a lot more of his personality. Even the way he was dressing was so adorable. Like he had a t-shirt and like a scarf, and like you could see his tats, and I was like,
Oh,
okay, Kevin, like
Yeah.
I love that. He really opened up. He let you see a whole different side of him. I love
I
that.
loved it. I'm like, here we go. Yes, yes. We
We're
are.
all in.
We're here
We're
for
the
it.
we're the Hallmark After Dark girlies, so we like to see people unbuttoned and who they're not.
I love that so much. Yeah, I mean, just in having a podcast, that is like you're like get unbuttoned. Like that's the
Yep.
you we want to see is yeah. Who are you when the cameras aren't rolling?
Foreskin. It's good.
Exactly. My,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to say, I had to remind myself. I go, we're all humans. You guys just all have a job that we're really interested in learning about. But at the same time, sometimes I wonder if you guys are tired of talking about it.
I
That's
know.
my
Well, that's
reasoning.
yeah, I can't lie. Like, I really do love like the tangents we go on because, yeah, I mean, I do love talking about the shows. Actually, okay. I'm like two ways because, like, on one hand, as you guys have seen, I love talking about the craft of acting because I'm
Mhm.
just such a nerd for it. But I also really like just talking about other, just I don't know, girly things or just human things, whatever it is. And yeah, because like you
I love it.
Me
well, like
too.
you're saying, Catherine, it's like that's one of the reasons we listen to podcasts, right? Is because and definitely one of the reasons I listen to them is to literally just listen in on other people's conversations.
Hmm.
And I remember when I was younger, when I was in college, I remember having this thought of because I lived in a house with 10 people. It was
Mm.
actually an a cappella house. It was really, really cool. And they shout out to them. They're called the SoCal Vocals. They they didn't compete. Their whole thing was we don't compete every year for the national championships or whatever it is for a cappella, but when we do, we win. And it's true. My senior year, it was like a movie. It was like Pitch Perfect. They went.
I was just gonna say that was you had a pitch perfect life. What do
Yes,
you mean?
it was crazy. I wasn't part of it. I was so the what they called me was so the name of the a cappella group is the SoCal Vocals and I was a Vopal. I was a SoCal Vopal. Love it.
Oh,
So cute, right? So cute. No, they're all incredible and they're all Beyonce and they're all blowing up. But um, but actually, my senior year too, they wanted to film like do a docu series
Hmm.
for which I thought would have been so cool. But there were some people that were in, some people that weren't so in because they wanted to focus on their studies as well. So, doing a whole documentary would have been a quite a thing. But
You
um,
still can do a tell-all at some point of your time as a Vopal.
That's
yes,
true. And I
yes.
want to. And I want to because I had so much fun. Like you guys, every morning, not every morning, every night, like someone would be singing. And it was the most beautiful. And I remember when I got into the house or when I like applied to live there, they were like, Veronica, we just do you want to like give you the disclaimer that we practice a lot at this house and a lot of us are singers and so we're going to be doing our vocal exercises and things like that and we're going to be singing a lot and I was like guys that is not a deterrent for me like I I am here for it I want to see I want to hear everything but they would like every night somebody would come out with a like come into my room with a guitar and sing an original song. It was so cool. Shout out to Lauren and Shagun if you're listening to this. They're so talented and yeah, it was really really cool. And they like when you hear an incredible song and there's always the climax of the song towards the end and it gives you chills sometimes.
Yes.
Hmm.
They were all like that. They were all chill worthy vocalists. They were also just so good. But anyway, I completely forgot where where that where my train of thought was going there.
It's
Um,
okay, but how inspiring. And you got to have these beautiful free concerts every day.
Yeah.
You
it
made
was it was so cool. It was so cool, you guys. And I just remembered where I was getting off to with there. We were talking about podcasts and we were talking about listening to other people's conversations. And I remember when I was living in that house thinking, I just want to hear other people's conversations to learn how to
Hmm.
be a human. Not that I didn't know how to be a human, but I just wanted to know more. I wanted to because you have this thing where especially when I was younger and kind of still figuring out the world and everything, I definitely had this kind of personality where you know how you talk to other people, you know the conversations you're having, obviously, but I just really, especially, being an actor too, just really had this instinct for, I want to know how other people are conversing. Am I, not that I'm doing anything wrong, but am I, what, what can I do differently, I guess. I think I was just generally interested. Like I love my life, but just curious is the word, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know.
And I would say that makes you completely well-rounded because you can see it from other people's aspects, and there's not a lot of people who are well-rounded. So awesome.
Mhm.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Therapy
Exactly.
101 today. Way to go, Veronica.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. This is
Yes.
literally.
Are.
Thank you. Pats on back. Pats on back.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no,
Gosh.
every day just learning a little bit more how to be a human.
Well,
That's the thing, right? It's like, oh, I learned this today. Like this made me better, or yeah, this made me grow.
mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Just trying to learn a little bit every day.
Well, we do have to talk about some rom-coms, but before we jump into that, I was curious. We have two questions for you. I'll start with, so when you are reading these scripts, do you jump to see who the killer is, and skip to the end, or are you just as surprised as everybody else as it unfolds?
No, I always skip. I always skip ahead. I always skip ahead. I
Me
want to
too,
know.
I would.
I
Yeah,
would,
yeah. Like,
of course.
I knew it. Or okay, actually, that's not true. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this is good. This is good. Let me have some self-restraint here, and let me just read through it and see if I can detect who the killer
Hmm.
is. But honestly, sometimes these scripts are just really well written, and I'm like, I didn't guess it.
I feel like I'm always, I don't know about you, Brennan, but I always feel like I'm down to two, and then I'll go with the one that it isn't. And I was like, dang, I was so close. And
Ooh.
there's always that little one thing that tips it over to the other side for me. And then I'll be like, oh, I missed, and it was because I wasn't well rounded. I missed something over there. I
But
forgot to
hey,
listen.
at least you're getting close. At least
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm. And
credit there.
that's me. This is off topic from it. That's me in The Bachelor. Every Bachelor season, I'm like, spoiler, who won? And then,
Yeah, you just need
oh,
to
I can't
know.
wait. I don't got time to wait. Just tell me now.
No, exactly. Oh, actually, that's a good way to do The Bachelor. I never thought of that. But if you watch the last episode, then you can kind of like see through the episodes and just see almost like how did they get there, and you pay closer attention to that gal or
Mhm.
guy or whoever.
I've
Right?
always been a person who skipped to the end of the books. I mean, granted, I was reading Harlequin romance novels, so they were always, you always just went to the happy ending of the kiss when they finally got together. But yeah, no, that's why I like Hallmark, I guess. But now I'm like, can we spice it up and put some more kisses in the middle, please?
Yes. Okay, this is okay. This is just like a general PSA to all writers, like more kisses, more kisses. This is what we want.
Yes. Oh,
It's a
we've been talking a lot
journey.
about more kisses lately.
Have you? Yeah. I mean, it's or just more moments of tension. More moments
Hmm.
like I just watched Wuthering Heights, and
Mm.
and there's actually such a funny speaking of tension, there was such a funny moment when so I was in the theater, and when Jacob Elordi's character, um I don't think this is a spoiler because I think it's in the trailers, but he cuts his hair halfway through the movie,
Oh,
and
yeah.
before it's like mangy and and then he cuts it and he gets a glow up, and there was when he turns around with his little haircut, there was an audible gasp from all the women in the audience.
Well, and like he's in the fog and like he has his earring. You're like,
And
oh my.
yes, we all gasped, and I think we all knew how comical it was. All the women in the theater, I looked around and it
It
was
didn't
me.
matter.
We just all knew, and so it was like this collective, and then it was this collective like burst of laughter that we all we all knew, oh my God, it's all women in this theater, and we're all just ogling over Jacob Elordi.
Um,
Best part of watching, like that's what I love watching with Catherine, like because it's fun watching with another person where you can like scream and get excited. It's no fun by yourself.
Yes.
and Veronica, that's us with Kevin McGarry. So if you want to come and watch Kevin McGarry and scream with us, come on over.
Come on
Oh
over.
my gosh.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I
Mhm.
love it. I'm all in. Oh my gosh, I'm all in. I'm such a girly girl. Like in some respects, like that I love the camaraderie and just the I don't know, it feels like why do we ever need to grow out of that? You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
we all have this same we all have the same hearts and we all have the same
Mhm.
desires and the same, yearnings, longings, and it's just fun to share that with somebody.
But yeah, we would like both of us, well, all three of us would like more writers to know that it is the journey, and the journey can include kissing because there's always going to be tension and wanting to kiss somebody, and at least a few more getting close if that's what it is.
Yes,
Absolutely.
exactly. Yes, just a
We're
few
a little
more.
kiss we're a little kiss deprived right now on the show that we have in common, and we're like, why?
Why? Let there be
Why
more
are you
kissing.
Yes, please, please kissing. Yes.
Just a little bit more of like like they're solving a mystery or whatever together, and like, maybe like let's say it's like the next like Nelly knows, and like Pascal's down here, Kevin's up here, and then she turns around suddenly, and he's right there, and there's this
Mhm.
more of those,
Those are
more
the
of
best
that.
moments. Those are the best
Exactly.
moments.
Oh,
We're watching Hallmark. We're not watching Lifetime where we're wondering if we're going to get murdered behind the scenes next in the next
Yes.
episode.
totally,
Yes.
totally, totally right for us, right, right for
Oh my gosh. Brennan, do you want to talk about your favorite rom-com?
My
Or I'm
favorite.
sorry, not even not your favorite, your boyfriend's favorite.
Oh,
Her boyfriend has a
sure.
favorite rom-com of yours.
Well, my boyfriend Evan, he loves Hallmark too, and he'll watch the movies with me. He loves When Calls the Heart with me. So I just feel really grateful that he enjoys all this with me too.
he's
One of
awesome.
I'm
Yes,
I'm
and
very
All we
I'm
can
very
ask for.
lucky.
and he
That's right.
shares her. So yeah, he's awesome.
That's so good. Every time, really quickly, every time I ask my partner if because I love rom-com so much, and that's really what I want to watch. Like that's
Hmm.
that and comedy. Those are like the main things I want to watch. And anyway, every time it always ends up being he loves like thrillers or action movies, and so it
Mhm.
always ends up or dramas as well.
Hmm.
But it always ends up being something in that realm, and I'm like. I need more girls' nights to
Do you
watch.
guys ever meet in the middle with at least drama but a little bit of romance? Can you meet in the middle somewhat?
Yes, and
Okay.
usually I'll like sneakily try to find dramas that are really good, Oscar worthy, or were up for Oscars in the past, but I just like check to make sure that there's like some kind of like love story.
There you go.
There has Yes.
Has
Here,
to.
honey, here's my checklist.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right. But does it have a love story? No. Ooh.
He might need a second choice.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe not that one. What else? What else do we have on the list?
Yes. Yes.
But anyway, you were saying, Brennan, about your boyfriend's favorite.
Oh, no problem. He loves the movie Fashionably Yours from 2020.
Yes.
And yes, and you had a role in that movie. And I adore that movie as well. It's a fantastic cast, great story. So would you just share a little bit about starring in that movie and just that experience?
Okay, wait. Can I give you the most realness right now?
Yes, please.
We did film that in 2020, and I don't remember a lot about filming it, but
Okay.
That's
that's
fair.
like the most like actor realness right there for you. Also, I had wait, hold on. Wait. Is that the one where I'm playing guitar? Or is
Yes.
it okay, okay, okay. Okay, yes. Yes. Okay, that's when I'm playing guitar. Okay, can I be this is the most actor realness for you. That was like at the beginning of my career, and I had that one scene and I had that one day. And it's Cat Graham, right?
Love her. Yeah.
It's all coming back to me.
Yes, girl, you got this.
And you know
I got
what?
this.
You know what?
It's
We're going
all
to add right here, Veronica? It's all coming back to me now. Isn't that Celine Dion? We'll just add that at the bottom.
Yes.
Yes, please, please. Oh my gosh. Oh, love me some Celine. Mwah. What a legend. Yeah, but okay, I do remember that cat was awesome. I loved her. She's just so cool. And also what I love about her as an actress too, because I watched other movies with her as well. And a lot of them Hallmark. And something that you ask yourself as an actor, especially living in Vancouver, there's a lot of Hallmarks that film here, is how do you get to be a lead on a Hallmark movie?
Mhm.
And a big thing that I learned from her, I haven't been the lead on a Hallmark movie, but a big thing that I've learned from her is just be real. Just be real.
Mhm.
And like, because I think sometimes there's this like tendency to want to like overplay, or things like that. And granted, there are actors that can actually do that actually really well. And it's because it's part of their personality and it's like super charming. But I like that she was like, well, that's not part of my, personality. So I'm just gonna be more, the way I almost describe her acting is just like a little bit more grounded, a little bit more low key. What's a good word for it? Maybe just grounded. She just and meeting her was that way as well. There was just a realness to her and just like, and she's also so lovely and just like kind um and no, I literally was just there for that one day. But she's, yeah, nothing but good things to say. I've never worked with a Hallmark like lead that I didn't love. They're all so down to earth and cool and just really usually empaths as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
That's
you
why we
got to
love it.
work.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brennan.
Oh, I was just because that's why we love you all, because you all really are genuine, kind people who just love what you do, and you
Mhm.
appreciate us as fans, and you're willing to take time and talk to us. So,
I
yeah,
love
Yes.
that's why we love you.
I love this so much. Oh my gosh.
So
No.
you got to work with Catherine and James in Christmas on Cherry Lane, right? Cherry Lane. I always want to say Cherry Hill, and that's not it. So now because they're such veterans in the Hallmark universe, and then of course with other projects, was there some tricks of the trade that you learned from them about this about specifically the Hallmark world or anything like that too? Because they had to have stories to share.
Oh yeah. Well, that's another team that they're so awesome. I mean, a cool thing that I learned from them is just like if the chemistry is working, keep it, And they
Mhm.
have such a beautiful chemistry together. And seeing them work together was like just seeing a really solid team work together in the way that you would imagine, yeah, a couple of actors that have worked together for a long, long time. It was really, really beautiful to see them work together. They work really quickly. They work really efficiently, and they're both such kind people. And I remember thinking, and James is really fun too. Catherine's so sweet and beautiful. And I remember thinking with Catherine, because I play her daughter
Mhm.
in that movie, and I was like, I was just so I was so flattered to be cast as her daughter because she's gorgeous. And I just remember thinking, and she's also so beautiful for her age. Can I say that too? Like, I don't know if that's like a weird thing to say, but she, like, when she told me her age, I was like, there's no way. You look like 35. Like this, you're stunning. She's so stunning. And I went through it with her. Went through her. I went through with her. That sounded wrong. I went through her skincare. You guys
There
don't
you
have
go.
I went through, I was just starting shit. I went through, no, she's amazing. I went through her skincare routine with her because I was like, what do you use? You are just so glowing and beautiful. And she was so nice. She gave me all of her products and everything. She's so cool. And also what did she teach me? She actually taught me about a little bit about, what's it called? There's an app that like if you're worried, because I remember at the time I was breaking out, I had a lot of acne, and
Mm.
I remember asking her about like what products are good if you don't want to break out, and she said that there's actually an app that you can use that will tell you what chemicals and what amount of chemicals and what different kinds of chemicals are in all of your products all of
Oh,
your products. And there can be a lot of chemical disruptors, basically. So like if you have, for example, like I don't want to name out companies
yeah.
specifically. I don't want to, but there's a lot of like cleaning products, for example,
Mm-hmm.
that actually are hormone disruptors. And
Mm-hmm.
and acne is hormonal a lot of times, and especially it was for me. And so anyway, there's an app that you can look up that will tell you, okay, this chemical, this chemical, this chemical are hormone disruptors, and this is how you can like suss out, which ones are better for you, which ones are kind of worse for you. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm totally spacing on this, but I swear I wasn't Catherine. If I remember right, Catherine was doing a info commercial for some sort of product way back in the day that was like either one of those things that helped do the massaging of your face, or I'd have to go back. It was back when we actually had commercials.
Yeah. I know. There's no commercial. I mean, yeah,
But
yeah.
I think if I remember right, I think for some reason I'm seeing her face being one of them, but I could be making it up. But yeah, so we'll just go through Catherine Bell's list of products, and then we all know what we need to use
Mhm.
Yes,
if it matches our chemistry.
Yes.
yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, I learned you learn something new on every set. It's really, really cool. And I always find just talking to people is I this is such a simple thing to say, but talking to people and listening to other people's conversations is so good because you always pick up things that are applicable to your own life. And and it's good to tell people your problems honestly, because you never know who's gonna say, oh, I've also dealt with that and this is how I dealt with it, or hey, this is a resource that you can use. It's
Hmm.
Yeah, never underestimate the power of a friendship.
That's so true. Oh, amen, girl. Absolutely.
Therapy. Well, I feel like we've kept you forever, but can we ask a few more questions before we let you
Yes.
go?
Yes. Oh my
Okay.
God, guys, no, seriously, I can do this all day long. I love this so much. I also hope you guys didn't hear my boyfriend peeing in the background. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I
oh,
I I got
we're
a little
easy. Don't worry.
I love you guys so much. I got a little distracted. Not gonna lie in the last question because I was trying to talk over him peeing.
You are such a good girlfriend.
I was like, no one will notice. No one will notice. No one will notice.
Like,
That's so sweet.
honey, I
That's
am
my
doing
in-home
a podcast.
water fountain. It just turned on.
That's right. Yeah, that was just
Got it.
that's right. That's what that was.
Oh boy, do I feel like we're calling you up when we make it back to Vancouver. We'll
Yes,
have
Please.
yes, girl.
Oh my gosh,
Absolutely. So
let's
good.
talk about the wrong Paris because that was, oh my gosh, so fun. And your character, the whole movie itself was so over the top. And
Uh-huh.
I loved the poking at the, as Brennan was saying, trying to see who was going to win the Bachelor.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, you had such a stellar cast on there. So what was, I mean, you have to have so many fun memories from that one.
Oh my gosh, I have so many fun memories that I feel like I'm gonna get dementia at an early age because I always forget all the memories, the amazing memories that I have with
Not
these
ready
people.
to know.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, that's why I take photos. That's why I take so many photos because it actually helps me to like look back through and be like, oh yeah, that day we did this, blah, blah. Um,
Hmm.
oh my gosh. Okay, so do you guys know Hannah Stocking? She's a comedian on Instagram, and she was one of our cast members. She she and I had so much fun on that movie. She is so funny. She greeted me every day in the makeup trailer going, "How are you, champ?" Like, she just has this like larger than life, incredible personality. Some people when they get to set, it's like this thing of, I don't know, sometimes I can be a little shy and when I come to set, I like want to hide and go to my trailer and then hide and go to the makeup trailer. Um, and sometimes like it takes me like a little while for my personality to kind of get warmed up. Just because also it's like 6 a.m.
Yeah. It's going to take me till at least 10, so that's good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
there you go.
Thanks.
Exactly. but it was fun because it never felt like that on that set specifically because A, we had Hannah going, "Hey, how are you, champ?" just to introduce herself every morning, and everybody. It was also really cool working with. It was such a large ensemble of girls, which
Hmm.
was so cool. And I guess, I mean, I've never worked with an ensemble of girls that I didn't absolutely love. But I remember our like somebody, I remember, I don't know who, like one of the crew members saying it's not actually usual for that many girls to get along. Usually there's some, something happening. But no, not on this one. Everybody got along so well. Miranda is an icon and
Hmm.
she's so sweet and so nice on set. She would tell us about her dreams. And sometimes I think this is what was happening. So she was staying in, because we filmed it in Vancouver, and she was staying in a hotel, and I guess, or a condo somewhere. And wherever she was staying, I think she was saying was kind of haunted. And so
Oh.
every
Oh,
day she would tell us like something, we would be like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Have you seen a ghost yet? And she would tell us about this, new occurrence or whatever that happened the night before. And we were like, no, girl, it's haunted. Faux show.
You want to have a sleepover with us?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, truly. We were like, get out of there. Come on, come over here. Um, but no, she was so great. And just everybody in that cast, Madison, Madeline,
Hmm.
um, Pearson, who's now blowing up and is in so much. Um, his abs are real. They're absolutely, they're abs. I get asked that. They're like,
oh,
"Oh, like give us the lowdown," and I'm like, "Nah, they're absolutely real. There's no paint, nothing. Like that's him."
that's
Um,
always so reassuring. Like, yes, they're real.
yeah, exactly, totally. Like, yeah, every time a guy brings him up, I'm like, yeah, that's just unachievable. And I don't know if like that's me just trying to like tell people like, um, you know, like like don't worry, they are real, like he's real, but I don't know, maybe I want to make people feel better about themselves, but I do know that it took quite a lot of effort to look that way, as it would, you know what I mean? Like
Which is
his
why I'm like, too much work.
Same. Like, you know what? I don't need them. There's other people that have them that I can look at them. It's
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about muscles. Well, it was funny because so my character is written to be like kind of like this buff female wrestler type.
Oh my gosh, she was hysterical. Heather, no, the lines that Heather had, I want to know how much of them was there any ad-libbing too when you're talking about her.
Yes. So yes, there was. I think I improvised with the help of my partner because he's so talented and so funny. He helped me come up with like just pages and pages of ad libs. Like, do I have my phone on me? I have like a notes on my notes app. A note for Heather specifically, and I would just write down because she's in so much of the movie, but it's a lot of times in the background of it. And I always, wanted to give her, if she did have a line, I always wanted to have alt lines. And then that could be fun and funny. And then when she was in the background, I wanted her to have options for if we needed a comedic relief moment and honestly, I would come to set, the director was so cool, and she was like, please, she was like, tell, any funny moment that you want to bring to it. She was like, pitch it to us.
Hmm.
And so I pitched a lot of stuff to her that made it into the film. Like for example, it wasn't scripted that I slapped Trey on, or Pearson's character on the butt when I first meet him on on the show. But I was like,
Good ad-lib, good ad-lib.
yes.
thank you, thank you.
That's the kind of ad lib we get behind.
That's right. Like, and I just remember like because I'm supposed to just come up and meet him and shake his hand, aggressively, and then go away. But I was like, I think it could be funny to like slap him on the butt aggressively.
Mm. That's so
Oh,
fun.
my favorite was when the girls are all fighting in the mud pit and Heather's in between them and she's like, "Oh, this is kind of hot."
Yeah.
Like
Actually, this is rather
at
hot.
first she's like, it was not Hallmark people, but it just cracked me up where it's like literally she's just like, "Oh, let's stop," and then she goes, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah,
Like,
yes,
stupid
exactly.
Digging
Casper.
this? We can keep going.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Keep fighting. Oh
If
my gosh, we
only,
had
if
so much.
only
That
you
one
were
was
be.
scripted.
Oh, it
What's that?
was okay. I was
That
gonna
was.
say only if you were between Torrance's character too and Pearson's, that would have been hysterical too. We could have had two versions.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Exactly. She was like, whatever. I'll take what I can get. She's like, I'm gonna get booted off this show anyway. I just know it. Um, I know. I definitely felt like yeah, she swung both ways, and she was. Oh my God, it was so fun to play her. Like every day coming to set was just such a joy. Like, I think. I've thought about that project a lot since then because I have fun on every single thing that I do. Just being on set is so fun. I mean, you're just getting to collaborate and have fun, and um,
Mhm.
no, it's so good. But that movie specifically, man, I just had butterflies in the best possible way every time I would come to set. Like I just felt like I was really in my element. And I grew up doing a lot of theater and honestly like leaning into like a lot of comedic roles when I was growing up. I was always kind of the person that this is kind of a weird thing, but because I am mixed race, I'm half Mexican, and growing up, I always felt like the ingenues were blonde and blue-eyed. Ingenue, I don't know if people know this word. Ingenue is kind of the leading lady of the musical or the play, and just historically, they've a lot of people are fair skinned and blonde hair and blue eyed, the ingenue characters, and so I never felt like that was achievable. And I always kind of was drawn to the weird characters. And they were comedic. And like I played like Pippin's like grandma in high school, like, and I played Willy Wonka at one point. Like, just to give you an idea of, I was always like, I never wanted to audition for the lead. Like I always was going towards like the comedic relief roles. And so getting to play Heather in The Wrong Paris felt like just so right for my heart and what my heart wanted to do. Like I just love a weirdo character and I love a comedic relief character.
Amazing. We appreciate them too. They're the ones that stand out. They're the ones that we remember and that you remember. And absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
Totally. Well, that was my hope. That was really my goal was how can I elevate this film? Like how can I every day coming to set with just this goal of of like, yeah, how can I elevate it? How can I make it more funny? Bridesmaids was a really big just because it's like has an ensemble of women in it as well. That was a really big inspiration for me.
I love that movie. It's so good.
I watched like all the behind the scenes.
Did you? Amazing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, even like what made me really step up and notice in Nelly too was, when we were having and I don't know if it was directed or if you chose to, but like her swinging in the chair, having Fiona or like tap tap tap. And it was just, because Pascal love her dearly, but she's known for her comedy too, for as especially for people who follow Rosemary. So to be able, like to find somebody who could match that energy, and you did, girl. You really did.
Thanks,
And it
friend.
was those little those little things that you just kind of like, just by having a few different little things, facial expressions or hand gestures or whatever it is, was just perfect. It was a good
I
combo.
love hearing that so much. That means so much to me. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, like I always gravitate towards, yeah, what physical. I think it's just my natural inclination, especially from doing theater, is, theater is a lot bigger. You're using your body a lot more. It's less about just the face. It's more about, yeah, what is your whole body doing? So I always, and I'm a big gesticulator. I'm always using my hands to communicate. And so I've always gravitated towards having big physicalizations and big gestures. And so I'm glad that it's not only appropriate, but helps the character in Nelly Knows.
1000%.
Oh,
Thank you
fantastic.
guys for these questions, by the way, and yeah, no, I love yeah, I love this conversation. I honestly could do this for like all day. Like what it,
Oh,
I'll just bring Eliza back in and be like, "Can you make Auntie dinner? We're gonna be talking." No, I love
yeah,
it. This
okay.
this this is me and Brennan anytime. So
All the
perfect.
time. We love it, girl. We're here all the time for it. Absolutely. Um, so do you have a favorite rom-com yourself? We've talked about many amazing ones, but do you have like a number one favorite?
okay. Oh, I've mentioned some of them here, like Bridesmaids and
Yes.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. So up there.
Mhm.
I love this is actually not a rom-com, but I really like Before Sunrise. It's have you guys seen it? It's a movie. If you haven't seen it, it's such a good watch. It has Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke in it, and it's oh, it's so good. It really is like the epitome of such a good romance. You guys will love it. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm jealous that you
Before
haven't seen it.
before sunrise. Okay.
Before
Well, I
Sunrise.
will say, I asked this question in the junket the other day, and Kevin said that he goes, I don't know if I'm gonna get like kicked off the island or whatever. He goes, Under the Tuscan Sky. I was like, absolutely not. That is a perfect rom-com. Plus, you got scenery. That wins. Like,
Yeah.
Always, the
so
scenery always
that's
wins.
that's kind of
Oh,
what it's reminding me of without even seeing it. Like, I'm gonna be expecting a lot of other elements to it than with like beautiful scenery for Before Sunrise, or no?
yes, actually, because it's
Okay.
set in Vienna. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So another European country. Yeah. No, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And they basically just that is so much of it is they're just walking through the streets of Vienna and falling in love.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm
I'm
all
in. I'll definitely add that to my
over it.
list.
It's on the
Yes.
list.
Yes, do it. And then they do this cool thing. There's two more movies. And I think it's Before Sunset and then Before Midnight, I think is the other ones.
Oh,
And they're same cast, but they're I believe like 10 years apart each one. And so you kind of get to see their relationship and how it evolves.
awesome.
It's really cool. Like it was filmed, literally filmed. So the actors are 10 years older in every one. It's really cool.
That's
Gosh,
amazing.
I am surprised I haven't seen that.
Me too.
Oh, it's
Must
so
have been
good.
during the time I was like, oh, I'll stop going. I stopped going to movies for a while just because things were so expensive, or I didn't have somebody else to go with me back in the day. And I was like, everybody else was having families, and I was kind of like, what am I gonna do with myself? So
I'll go to the movies. Great
I
choice.
traveled.
Oh, great choice. Honestly, living. You're doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree.
So if you had a choice for a leading man for your first Hallmark leading lady role, because it's got to be Coming Girl, who would you want to co-star with?
From your lips to God's ears, first of all. Second of all, listen, my my crush for my whole life has been Jack Black. I know that's like
Oh,
crazy, Sam.
Oh, no, not at all. One of my favorite rom-coms, if you could call it that, is The Holiday. I love his character in The Holiday.
Yes, yes, that's what I was
yeah.
gonna bring up. Oh my God, I'm so glad you brought it up, Brennan. Yes. Oh my God, he's so good in that. I was just watching an interview with him actually where he talks about that, and he said that he did that movie for his mom because he thought my mom is gonna love this. Like he thought it was a great script, but he also thought mom will love this. And honestly, great reason to take on a role. I love that. Our moms are important. Like give
Hmm.
them that. You know what I mean? Like you're making money anyway, might as well like do one for your mom. But he's so good in that, and I just love how he doesn't take himself too seriously. And I don't know, there's something about the way he talks and the way he moves, and he's just so fun and funny and playful. I love it
Hmm.
so much. Um, I mean, yeah, he's in a movie. I think it's High Fidelity. It was one
Oh,
of his earlier roles, I think, and he plays like somebody that works at a record store, and Like the classic, because he's a rocker at heart, and so he has his like classic moment that I feel like he does in every movie where he like has an imaginary mic and is like singing into it and dancing,
Hmm.
and his moves are so good. He's such a good dancer, and oh, he's so charismatic.
That's an excellent choice. Now, I was going to ask, who would you rather your character be based more like Kate Hudson, not Kate Hudson, Kate Winslet in that, or Cameron Diaz? I mean, because I think a really good mixture of both of their personalities would be something fun to play off of a
So
character like that.
So fun, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what really worked about the Holiday and Kate Winslet's character in that was that Jack Black really took her out of her funk. In that,
Hmm.
Kate Winslet's character was really having this like just dark night of the soul where like she was so, being mistreated by that guy that she was infatuated with that was just like not right for her, and was playing games with her. And and then Jack Black comes along and is just so loving and playful, and she just really needed that. So I think like that kind of dynamic really works well in a movie. But yeah, but I love Cameron Diaz's character too, where she's just like she's moping too about her guy that's not treating her well, and she goes to Kate Winslet's charming a charming abode in London, and she's like dancing and singing too, and drinking wine and having a little party by herself.
Throwing clothes over the balcony, would they be like, get yourself out of my house? I mean, yeah, no, it is. I think we all agree it's one of those that every time it's on, I will stop on that channel or whatever, like back in the day with cable, I guess, but I will purposely push play on my Netflix to watch it because it is just one of those. I think for me, the other part is the soundtrack of that one
Oh,
Oh,
because
gorgeous.
of the old movies and that bounce. Oh, it just makes my heart sing.
Oh, that's one that gives me chills every time. Hmm.
oh, 100%. Okay, I was gonna say Kate Winslet's job as well, I kind of fantasize about. It's another writer.
Mm.
But
Hmm.
but you know whose job was misleading in that? Cameron Diaz's job as an editor is actually it's glamorized in the movie, but I think it's really not that glamorous. Like
Hmm.
it's really not. You're sitting in a because the other thing too is you don't really. I mean, she's working with Jack Black and somebody else. I can't remember who else was in the movie, but you're.
It was John Krasinski.
Oh my God, that's right. Oh my
Oh,
God,
oh,
yes.
I don't remember. I was thinking of the girlfriend of Jack Black's character for some reason. That was popping and not John. Oh, I
He
Guys,
did
has
not know that he was. Are you sure?
he has like a quick scene in the beginning.
I think
Because
okay.
they're making that trailer with Lindsay Lohan and James Franco, and
Oh,
Yes!
okay.
Guys,
that
between the three of us, we would rock at the holiday trivia.
we actually would.
Rock it.
And this
We
and
know.
really fun fact, rom-com trivia or rom-com love did start as a trivia page
Mhm.
because I love trivia. Yeah. And then we started, and I actually had told the story at the junket the other day. This will make you laugh. I had told them, oh, Barbara Niven said, she goes, oh my gosh, your podcast name is so wonderful. I was like, oh, I'm so honored. Thank you. It's very sweet. And I told her the origins. And I said, I tried to have actors come, but people were like, I don't know my movies, number one. And then two, like it's been so long. And then two, a lot of our titles are never the same when we're filming it compared to when you guys are seeing it. So I
True.
was like, well, but I said, it's just a fun way. It's totally non-pressure. We're just having fun with it. And then finally, Victor Webster stands up on the my little screen of five actors, and he goes, "They don't hire me for my brains."
I love it so much. Oh my
I am so keeping this in, Victor. You said it out loud.
gosh. That's
It's
such a
out
good
there.
little soundbite.
You can share.
That's so good. Oh my gosh.
So
No.
we will not invite him to trivia day, but the three of us can master it.
Yes,
Perfect.
yes. No, we would so master it. I think we would know the whole movie. Like I think that we could from top to bottom, we could like write the script again. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love that. How fun would that be?
yes. Oh, that makes me okay. Now I need to go and watch more rom-coms. This is giving me all the good
I
feels.
same, yes.
The holiday. Also, yeah, yeah, I agree. If it's on, I will like whatever television I'm like happen to be around. I'm turning the volume up every
Yep,
single time.
Yeah.
same.
Well, and when you're talking about the editor job too, like I actually, one of the things I wish that schools would teach a lot more of is the behind the scenes, like I did theater in middle school, but I'm not a singer. And so for me, it was kind of like, especially with all the musicals that you had in high school and stuff like that, I just was like, there's a lot of people with talent. This isn't for me because of all this, and this. And then now knowing all the behind the scenes stuff. I just really wish that there was highlights of that, or maybe I just didn't know who to ask because I do our editing of videos and I do so much Instagram. I was editing that 360 for Bridgerton. That little hop thing that's on fire right now from Hyacinth's recital. Have you seen
Oh,
Bridgerton? It's
no,
it's it's it, but it's oh sorry.
no,
It's the
I haven't.
but it's a trending thing right now is this audio of her dance recital and so everybody's doing videos and it's
Oh,
so fun to find the beat and I was like I'd go back and do that now except for I'd be mad if I had the wrong edit because I didn't get the right things of what would be in my mind.
yeah, yeah. They should teach it more. I mean, yeah, or give it behind the scenes or something like that. Yeah, I mean, because all those jobs look so different, and I think that, um, yeah, you don't know what it entails until you do it, and then
Mm-hmm.
and then you know. Yeah, I did. I took a class in college that was for sound design specifically,
Mm.
which was actually really cool. And actually, this is kind of a fun exercise that the teacher had us do, and I'll share it with you guys here. Is it's such a simple thing, but um, throughout your day, just notice, like don't talk, and just notice the way that the sound changes when you move throughout your day. So like, if you go to the grocery store, it's going to have a way different ambient sound. Like there's music playing, there's people talking, as opposed to then you like go outside, you go into the parking lot, then you go into your car. And it was an exercise in, so usually they'll have to edit together the room tone, which just means what is this environment? They usually pull, usually when we're filming, they'll allot maybe 1 minute at the end of every scene that we do to allot for room tone, where the mic guy just kind of stands there and just records what it sounds like to be in whatever environment we're in. And so it was an exercise in making sure that, whatever you're editing together has the room tone of that specific place. Because if you try to match it with another environment, it's gonna bounce off the ears, and it won't sound right or feel right to the audience. So anyway, that's just about sound design. But it is kind of fun to know like a few things about editing or filmmaking, because honestly, then you can relate to the crew members in that way too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then how much it ends up being the decision of the network of whatever purpose, for whatever reason. Like like I used to watch movies and be like, who didn't notice that the left hand became the right hand and things like that, like because obviously it's so much easier on this side of the screen. And then you're
I know
and then you're like, you start to learn about the nitty gritty and you're like, oh, I get it now.
Yes, yes, yes. You know what? I used to resent continuity a lot more when I was a younger actor, because I was like, oh, but I just want to be loose and do whatever, and like I want to hold food like this in one take, and then I want to hold it down here in another take. But then you learn, oh wait, now I'm just making the editor's job very hard because they're not going to be able to cut together, my acting. So now I really do try to like tuck behind the same ear and notice when I pick up a pen or when I pick up a paper clip, and try to do it the same way every time. Because it also matters for the other person's coverage too. Like I had to film a scene where somebody else was eating, and if, I would be looking, my eyes would be looking towards where they were, holding their fork, or where they were taking a bite. And if, it's not going to cut together well if you don't take a bite at the same time or put your fork down at the same time, because then on the other end, it'll look like I'm looking down here, even though your fork was up here. So it's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the nitty gritty.
That's the movie magic right there, though. Just
Totally, totally, totally. That's totally it. To make it look natural and like it's the first time, every time on every take, even though it's the 10th take, that's the goal.
That's magic.
That's a match.
Oh, well, it's I just even doing this podcast with Catherine and watching so many movies and series myself and hearing so much behind the scenes. I love hearing behind the scenes. I'm starting to kind of use that verbiage. Like I was watching something with Evan and I said like, "Oh, that was great blocking." And he was like, "Listen to you."
She's ready to be a director.
Like
She's
I'm
ready.
learning so much, but he was like
That's
so impressed.
cool. Yes. Okay, what else do we learn for except to like impress our loved ones?
Well, when I go back to school, Brennan, you can be my co-pilot. We'll do schooling together.
Please, I would love to,
Oh,
girl. I'm in.
there you go. From fans to doing the damn thing. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for spending all this time with us. This has been a blast.
It has been
Been
an
so much
absolute
fun.
joy.
Seriously, you guys, this has been so much fun. I've just had so much fun. I love it. I love that when I asked, I was like, wait, can I just know kind of what we're gonna be talking about? And then I was like, no, but we we will be going on tangents. Faux show.